Lena Horne is actually ridiculous. She's actually ridiculous. And if you listen to our Stormy Weather episode,
which also stars Lena
Horne, they use the same strategy with Lena Horne in here, where there's never a scene that starts and Lena Horne is present.
No,
she always makes an entrance.
Absolutely.
Because
we all know where the eyes are going.
It's Lena Horne.
In 1943. Peak.
And besides being beautiful, sensual, everything, she has great presence.
Oh.
She has great presence. She is charming.
Mm-hmm.
She is funny.
Yeah.
Like Lena Horne has great comedic timing.
YUNKJunk!
Hey, welcome to the Micheaux Mission, 2 men, 1 podcast, every black film ever made. My name is Len, a.k.a. the Bat Tribble. And as always, I'm joined by my partner.
Hey, this is Vincent Williams.
I'm not used to you saying Vincent Williams. Do you always say Vincent Williams?
Every single week.
I always think I guess I only hear Vincent. It just, he took me out of it. I don't know.
You're just not paying attention at all. You just,
I guess.
Like you just say your bit and then you wait for.
I've never heard this Vincent Williams. Tonight, ladies and gentlemen. No, seriously. Tonight is our 398th episode.
Oh my goodness.
Of the Micheaux Mission. We are inching ever closer to our 400th episode, ladies and gentlemen.
Yes, sir.
And tonight we are digging in the crates.
We are.
Going back to 1943 to visit Ethel Waters, Eddie Rochester Anderson,
yes,
Rex Ingram,
yes,
and Lena Horne.
Yes, Lord.
In a cabin in the sky.
Lena Horne as Sweet Georgia Brown.
Sweet Georgia Brown.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Tonight's stop on the Micheaux Mission brought to you by my good friend Vincent Williams. But first, shout out to each and every one of you out there who are watching us as we stream live from YUNKJunk, Philadelphia's premier video podcast palace here in Philadelphia. You can book yourself in one of their fantastic studios right here. Just email Dylan at YUNKJunk.com. That's DYLAN at YUNKJunk.com. He's got multiple Dylans here. He's even got a Logan Dylan running around here, all claws popped out, scratching up all the foam and stuff.
Who would you call a group of Dylans? Who would you call a grouping of Dylans? It's
Dylans.
A Dylan of Dylans?
A Dylan of Dylans.
So it's like a gaggle of geese.
A gaggle of geese.
A pack of wolves. Of course, a murder of crows. And a Dylan of Dylans. A Dylan of Dylans.
Yes.
Fair enough.
So book yourself a Dylan here at YUNKJunk. And we are streaming, of course, to Facebook. We are streaming to our good friends at LinkedIn. And we are also streaming to YouTube, where each and every one of you are out there in the chat. Hello, missionaries.
Good evening, one and all.
Vincent, how are you doing, my friend?
I am fine. Looks like the weather has finally broken. Things are warm. Feeling good. And yourself?
I'm doing very well myself. I'm doing good. I have been treating myself.
Okay, excellent.
To every night, a chocolate chip cookie.
Yes, very nice. Living on the edge.
And vanilla tea.
Okay, yeah.
With Italian sweet creamer.
Okay, all right.
That is my nightly ritual.
Very nice.
I've been enjoying myself.
Okay.
Do you have if you had to a snack before dinner, what would you have a go-to?
I don't know if I have a go-to. I don't know if I do. I wasn't
trying to stop you.
For this. Just you don't remember me saying my last name. And are you having a stroke? Are you okay over there?
A stroke because I'm asking you.
You don't smell popcorn, do you?
No, I don't smell popcorn.
Okay, all right.
I don't like the smell of popcorn.
All right, of course you don't. Of course you don't like the smell of popcorn.
It's not that,
of course.
It's not that I don't like the smell of popcorn. I don't like to smell popcorn popping. Let's put it that way.
You know what? Okay. Fine.
If you like,
I just like that all of this is always on camera. Like it's lots of footage so that 15 years from now, when they do the Netflix documentary on you,
on me.
Oh, 100% on you.
Not on the show.
Not on the show, on you. We have all of this footage.
It's going to be a Netflix documentary?
Right.
I can't even get HBO? I can't be like the Jinx 4?
Oh, no, because it's going to be like 4 parts. I don't like the smell of popcorn popping. You know what?
I don't.
I believe you.
I don't like the smell of popcorn popping, and I don't like the smell of coffee.
You don't like
the smell of coffee brewing. I don't like it. Like when I smell coffee, it makes me it makes me feel sick in my stomach.
Well, that is a fact that we all now know.
There you go. But ladies and gentlemen, if you like the smell of popcorn popping, then I invite you to get all of the popcorn that you want next Thursday, June 13th, at the Bryn Mawr Film Institute, where the Micheaux Mission and the Be Real Black Cinema Club will be tag teaming for the Be Real Micheaux screening series, Part 2. Screening The 5 Heartbeats.
5 Heartbeats.
Thursday, June 13th. Tickets are on sale right now at brynmarfilm.org. I'm telling you right now, the tickets are going very fast.
Yeah, it's going to be a good time.
So
everybody loves our 5 Heartbeats.
Everybody loves the 5 Heartbeats. I actually do know 3 people that are coming in from out of town.
Yeah,
because they've never saw the 5 Heartbeats on the big screen. On the big screen.
Yeah, absolutely.
You know what I mean?
Yeah,
so
absolutely.
they want to check it out.
Yeah.
So we want to see you there with us for a number of reasons. One, because when's the last time, if ever, you saw the 5 Heartbeats on the big screen, ladies and gentlemen?
Right.
We are giving you that opportunity. Also, Vincent and I, as well as our good friend Stephanie Watts, will be there, intro the film, and doing a live talk back podcast right after the film.
We will.
And if you are in the building, and only if you are in the building, you will have the opportunity to vote for the next film to be screened as part of our screening series, which will be in August of this year. I'll just give you the hint. It's going to be Action August.
Yes, right.
So
rugged.
It's rugged, rough, wild. It's going to be ridiculous. We the 2 films that you're going to choose from. These are 2 of the most hardest hitting, baddest, funkiest black action movies of all time.
Yeah, absolutely. That is true.
It is absolutely true. And the only way you'll be able to choose whether or not this one goes or that one goes up on the big screen is if you're in the building Thursday, June 13th for the 5 Heartbeats screening at Bryn Mawr Film Institute.
Nothing but love for you.
Go to brynmarfilm.org. Get your tickets right now.
Right.
All right. All right, Vincent, let's get this show on the road.
All right.
Which means that we want to hear from you, ladies and gentlemen. It's your emails.
Oh, yeah.
Or as we like to call them,
Missives from the Missionaries. So what else is going on, Lynn?
We have emails, Vincent.
Ooh, missives from the Missionaries. Ooh. Ooh. Ooh, missives from the Missionaries.
We have an email, Vincent, from our associate producer, Mo Poplar.
Hey, what's up, Mo?
From out on the West Coast, he sends us a fan letter.
Okay.
You've been on some stuff. Your guest, your recent guest, seemed like a nice person. He's referring to Addie Williams.
Yeah, oh yeah.
Of the Harlem Connection.
Yeah, absolutely.
Who was here as we were reviewing the entire filmography of Prince.
Yes, soup to nuts.
But he said he didn't like the racial politics of Under the Cherry Moon. So therefore, he didn't like the movie.
Okay. And
he hasn't seen it in a while. I'm going to stop because he seemed like a nice person. It sounds like Mo's having some issues.
Okay. Okay.
Len.
Okay.
Bruno Mars has literally run the charts for the last 6 to 10 years doing a Morris Day and the Time pastiche.
True.
You might be out on a ledge by yourself. Why? Because I think the Morris Day and the Time are a little bit... Oh, because I said that they were dated.
Right. Exactly. And he's not wrong.
That
Bruno Mars' whole shtick is basically the time.
Okay.
Like, that's his whole shtick.
Okay.
So, apparently it has some kind of legs.
Yeah, but okay. I'm not going to fight this battle again. Mo continues. A couple of weeks ago, y'all had an interesting email about films that might adhere to a Micheaux test. Like the black version of the Bechdel test. I love that. Films that come to mind included Cuba Gooding Jr. in Jerry Maguire.
Yeah.
And what did we say the Micheaux test was again?
Basically, it's a version of where you have black characters in a film that frankly exist
in their own
outside of the orbit of the white characters.
Right.
Yeah, one of the more fascinating parts of Jerry Maguire was that Cuba Gooding Jr. had a whole world outside of Jerry.
Yeah. So much so that like the only real connection that immediately comes to my mind in that movie is when he's on the phone.
Yeah. Exactly.
Right. Okay. So he mentions Cuba Gooding Jr. and Jerry Maguire.
Do you remember who plays his wife?
Regina King.
I was about to say, I thought that was Regina King. Yeah. Regina King.
Taraji P. Henson in Smoking Aces.
I never saw Smoking Aces.
I think I did, but I don't remember.
Yeah. Okay. But
And William December Williams, a.k.a.
Billy D. Williams,
as Lando Calrissian in Empire Strikes Back. I don't know that necessarily falls into... I mean, technically, he's on his own...
Right.
In his own kind of subsection.
Right.
But I don't think that really...
It's a lot of inference to Lando in
if you really watch it,
because we've watched it a million times, you get the sense that he's between a rock and a hard place with Darth Vader,
right?
And you can kind of pull that from it, but yeah, I do think you have to pull it out.
Yeah. So
it also is weird, as Family Guy pointed out, that he puts on Han Solo's clothes at the end.
I know. I noticed that too.
Yeah.
I know. I remember noticing that when we watching it in real time and
I can't lie. I can't lie. I never noticed it until Family Guy pointed it out.
Really?
And now I can't unsee it.
But there's no reason for it except
why is he wearing Han Solo's clothes? Right.
Yeah. Why people should be wearing Billy D's clothes?
Can I tell you my headcanon? If you accept what Donald Glover says about his young Lando Calrissian, that Lando Calrissian was sexually fluid, I think Han Solo and Lando Calrissian were lovers at some point.
So then him putting on Han's clothes,
right, is like honoring his lover as he's going to help save him. Because it is weird how he drops everything to infiltrate Jabba's operation. So my headcanon is that Han Solo is bisexual as well. Well, obviously, if he had a
son.
Yeah, or had an affair with Lando Calrissian in the past.
That's interesting headcanon. And that actually tracks.
Yeah, oh yeah.
And I'm sure there's some fan fiction out there where that is true.
Look, I am not a Star Wars guy,
Mm-hmm.
So I'm not deep up into the Star Wars novels and comics and this is and that's is. But I think even what you see on the screen with Han Solo and Lando Calrissian, there's definitely something going on besides I lost my ship in a bet to you.
Well, according to the chat, I see Sharon Eldridge in the chat says that Billy D. Williams said on the Michael Rosenbaum podcast
that they were lovers.
Inside of You, I think is the name of his podcast, is that they were. He considered that they were lovers.
That they were lovers, yeah.
So I wouldn't be surprised if that isn't that maybe some backstory that he wrote.
Right.
Yeah, so that's interesting.
There you go.
So perhaps if that's your headcanon.
That's my headcanon.
But if one of the stars of the film,
maybe it's more than that. It's more than headcanon.
I think it's a canon.
Sure. It's not like what is it? What is it? What's the infamous Star Wars novel that came out between New Hope and Empire? What is it, like In a Mind's Eye?
I think that's
like the one where Luke tongue kisses Leia because George Lucas hadn't figured out yet that they were going to be siblings.
Right.
Yeah.
Interesting.
All right.
Mo continues.
Maurice continues.
Actually, the Micheaux test should determine if a film is a black film.
It's not a bad test. Although the films of someone like a Will Smith, a Denzel Washington, these sort of race-blind castings, it might be difficult because oftentimes they're the only black people in the films.
That is true. He points out that Samuel Jackson seems to do a good job of being a full person in most of the films post Pulp Fiction.
Mm.
And he also contends that Pulp Fiction is a black film. Last but not least, there's scuttlebutt that Wesley Snipes might show up in the new Deadpool, reprising his role as Blade. We actually mentioned
we talked about that recently. Yeah.
In my humble opinion, Ryan Reynolds was the worst part of Blade Trinity and clearly set up to replace Snipes. Am I the only one still on some old stuff as Reynolds' star rises in the MCU and Snipes seems sidelined? Probably. Tell the people to like and subscribe. Like and subscribe, ladies and gentlemen.
Subscribe, ladies and
on
gentlemen.
On YouTube and every place on social media.
Tell a friend.
Mo P.
Thank you, Maurice.
Thank you, Maurice. Appreciate that email.
Always.
We got another email, Vincenzo.
Mm-hmm.
And this email comes to us by way of... I'm going to go to Michael Sykes.
Hey, Michael.
Hello, Len and Vincent. I remember Vincent saying after Stevie Wonder's 1985 album In a Square Circle that he just kept making music in which it didn't have to make music anymore, and his music sort of went downhill. I understand that's your own opinion and you are entitled to it, but what are the two albums after In a Square Circle? But what about the two albums after In a Square Circle, such as Characters, in this platinum selling album, there are such hits as You Will Know, Skeletons
is on there, yeah.
With Each Beat of My Heart, and the duet with Michael Jackson, Get It. Let's not also forget another platinum album after that, the 1991 soundtrack to Jungle Fever.
Yes.
Hits like Jungle Fever, Gotta Have You, and the timeless Cry song, These Three Words.
Yeah, absolutely.
You, Vincent, may say the songs on the album might be outdated, but I will argue these three words will always be beautiful, meaningful, and timeless. P.S. Len and Vincent, which 80s Stevie Wonder album do you like the most? Hotter Than July or In a Square Circle? Love, your fan, Michael Sykes.
He's right. And let's be clear. Like, I don't think Characters or the Jungle Fever soundtrack are as good as the classic run, but they're really good albums. Like, in my mind, it's almost like the reverse. That shows you just how good that run from Where I'm Coming From to Hotter Than July is. That In Square Circle is just all right.
Yeah.
Because to be clear, I don't include In Square Circle. Like he said, characters in Jungle Fever. I don't include In Square Circle in that run.
I mean, it's got hits.
All three of them have hits, but I think the last great album, like when we talk about the
last great album is Hotter Than July. Yes.
But I love In Square Circle and characters.
Yeah.
I think Jungle Fever is spotty, but I think
Jungle Fever is spotty.
I think there are good songs on Jungle Fever though.
Oh yeah.
Like he's talked about these three words, but I think Make Sure You're Sure.
That's the one. That's the
bananas.
one I play all the time.
Yeah.
I play that all the time because I think the words are beautiful. Mm-hmm. The music of that is gorgeous.
Yeah, absolutely.
And honestly, Jungle Fever itself, the song, I can take or leave that.
He's got Jungle Fever. She's got Jungle Fever. We've got Jungle Fever. We're in love.
Yeah. Okay.
She's gone white girl
crazy.
No, he's gone white girl crazy. She's gone black boy
hazy. Isn't it hazy?
Hazy.
Yeah.
Something that rhymes with hazy and crazy. They're in love.
Yes. Yeah. Stevie was.
Had you ever actually heard that term before the movie Jungle Fever? To refer to interracial relationships? Had you ever heard the term Jungle Fever before the film Jungle Fever?
I don't remember now.
Like, I feel like Spike Lee made that out. Like, he created it. Like, he created a term.
I got a funny feeling it was a term.
Okay.
Yeah.
I had never heard that term before.
I wouldn't be surprised if it came before.
But I also feel like Spike Lee would have done that. Like, I'm Spike Lee.
I'm sure he would have.
Yeah.
And it's not that far of a leap considering, the different words and, names.
The Missionaries are very, very smart. But what is it? Entomology, I think. Entomology is words. Etymology is bugs. No, entomology is bugs.
Yeah, etymology is words.
Where are etymology?
Jungle Love was about interracial romance in '82 with The Time, as was Ice Cream Castle.
So we're connecting Jungle Fever to Jungle Love. Interesting.
Yeah. Well, I know the jungle aspect of it because, like we were called monkeys and all that type of stuff. So I
white person
that.
wants some of that jungle loving.
Yeah. I always knew where it was in.
I never connected Jungle Fever to Jungle Love before.
Oh, really?
I did not.
Oh, okay.
Like, I knew Ice Cream Castles was about interracial relationships, but I never thought about Jungle Love.
I never paid.
Oh yeah.
I never paid that much attention to the words of Ice Cream Castle because I just like the mood of it.
I know you don't like Ice Cream Castle.
No, I like Ice Cream Castle.
It's a Time song.
Yeah, I know.
Oh, okay. All right, I thought we didn't.
I said the Times hits.
Oh, okay. All right.
The songs from the movies. Those are dated.
I realized we.
I like Ice Cream Castle.
I was having a time conversation.
I like Ice Cream Castle. I like Girl.
All right. Okay.
I love Girl.
Okay.
Can I go back to the emails?
You please do.
All right. So that was an email from Michael Sykes. We also
thank you, Michael.
Got an email from Nicole Court.
Hey, what's up, Nicole?
Lights, camera, action. Len and Vince in the director's chair. Greetings to the Men of Micheaux. I want to make both this email and conversation fun, which is Len and Vincent take a seat in the director's chair. Since you guys are on the road to 400, I thought this little segment would be fun and creative. Oh,
okay. All right.
Nicole producing.
All right now.
You guys at this point are Black film critics as well as film lovers and pop culture enthusiasts, which are fantastic. You guys have almost 400 episodes worth of Black movie reviews. So the question I want to ask is, if you could pick a film you guys reviewed to redirect or direct an entirely different film, what would that be and why? You both can choose up to 3 or less. What themes would be in the film? How would you capture the Black experience? Do you think the film you both chose to direct would pass the brand new, now not fully established Micheaux test? And last but not least, where would the location be? Maybe Len would give The Last Dragon the justice it deserves, since that is his favorite movie of all time, or Nia Long would star in this film. Maybe Vincent would get his Spike Lee moment by expressing motifs like racism, class, or even masculinity in a way that is mesmerizing. I'm eager to hear you guys discuss this more in depth, as well as the new episode. Have a great week from a fellow missionary, Nicole.
Okay.
Thank you, Nicole, for that very thought-provoking email.
So these are films that we have reviewed.
Films that we have reviewed, but she also says...
we're going to get them redirected.
That we would direct. But she also says that we could direct an entirely different film. It says that.
Okay.
But let's keep it with films,
that we've reviewed, that we've looked at and said, okay, all right, you want to go?
I'll let you go first.
All right. I have two. I'm trying to think of what is a good...
You can choose up to
third
three.
One. Use up to, well, I'll do two and then I'll hold for, maybe you'll...
Okay, we'll do two and then...
All right, two. Well, two, I'm going right to American International.
Okay.
And of course, I'm doing both Blackula.
And Bucktown?
No, Sugar Hill.
Oh.
I'm doing both and to be clear, Sugar Hill is not bad in its present form.
Right.
But as we talked about, I feel like Sugar Hill very easily could be a film that we talk about with something like Wicker Man. Or frankly, like Rosemary's Baby. Like I think the potential is right there.
Right.
And as we mentioned with something like Blackula, it's the same thing. Like if just a little bit more care was given to this.
Right.
And part of the reason that I pick both of those is I don't know if there's a great horror film, black horror film from the 70s. Like as much as we love Ganja and Hess is basically an art house film. Like I don't, it has never been something that you play for, the generalized public.
Artists, right.
Here you go. Speaking of Spike Lee, and here's my third one then. Speaking of Ganja and Hess, I think Spike Lee was very much in that kind of experimental / navel gazing mode that he was in the early 2000s, arguably up to the Black Klansman with for the Sweet Blood of Jesus.
Okay, his remake of Ganja and Hess. His
reimagining of Ganja and Hess, which, frankly, I think he was just kind of experimenting with new cameras and stuff, which is fine. Like you Spike Lee, you get to do stuff.
Yeah.
But, I'm a Ganja and Hess enthusiast. So like, if you're going to do Ganja and Hess, do Ganja and Hess.
Okay.
So those are my three.
Those are three. All right. Yeah. Well, I'm going to I had two immediately in my head, but we've been doing this show for so long.
Right.
And as much as we bump heads, we do think alike. So one of them was Blackula.
I know it was Blackula. Blackula has been...
It's right there.
Like if we ever get to the point where we like can produce things, I know Blackula is our dream project.
Yes.
Yeah.
So it would be Blackula. So because of that, I'm taking Blackula off the table. I actually going to replace Blackula with Ganja and Hess. Because while I think Ganja and Hess is you're right, it's basically an art film, I think there is something there where Ganja and Hess in the right hands can be akin to Bram Stoker. Like that mix of the horror, macabre, but still very dramatic, right? And I think it's right and sexy.
Yeah,
and I think I think is there. So Ganja and Hess is one. My second one would be Coffee.
Really?
And not because to the same thing you said. Not that Coffee's bad. But I think that there is a better reading, a stronger script
Okay.
With that same story.
Sure. Not going to argue with that ever.
That gives Pam Grier the real opportunity to act. Okay. That gives her true Jackie Brown moment where she is the lead. Because she's the lead of Jackie Brown, but it's stuffed with so many cameos. It becomes almost an ensemble piece. But in Coffee, it's Jackie. It's Pam. So and Pam deserves that.
That's fair. That's a good one.
So I would say that. And then I'm going to go completely off the reservation for you.
Okay. All
ladies and gentlemen. I'm going to totally rework The Adventures of Pluto Nash.
Boy, that is your one.
Cause
like that movie. That is so funny to me that's your movie.
It's not so much that I like the movie, but I understand what he's going for.
You see the vision.
I see the vision.
You see the vision.
I see the vision.
Boy, that is Lynn's one right there.
You know
Pluto
why?
Nash.
You know why? Because Pluto Nash. Listen to me. Okay. Pluto Nash in the right hands, still with Eddie Murphy, with basically the same cast. Yeah. Give me Rosario Dawson. Give me Randy Quaid. It can be The Adventures of Buckaroo Banzai, but better.
I'm going to do you better than that. And I know you started watching it because our boy is in it, playing two cowboys, basically. Imagine Pluto Nash through the filter of something like Fallout.
Yep.
Sort of that retrofuturism and just grit it up a little bit.
Yep.
But it's still got that humor. So Eddie Murphy can be funny, but it's like really smart. Yeah, Pluto Nash through the lens of Fallout. Now you're cooking.
Yep. So The Adventures of Pluto Nash.
Okay, all right.
You didn't see that one coming,
I did not. I did not. No one's ever ready for Pluto Nash.
Nobody's ready for Pluto Nash. All right. Thank you, Nicole, for that email. That was a lot of fun. We got one last email, Vincent.
Okay.
And this is from Anthony Davis.
What's up, Anthony?
And the subject line.
Okay.
Star Trek Discovery.
Yes.
A black love story?
Yes.
Hey guys, I love the show and the nerdy banter you two have before every review. Speaking of which, I just finished the series finale of Star Trek Discovery and wanted to know if Vincent thinks the love story between Michael and Booker is on par or even surpasses the one in Django Unchained. Also, my fiance and I are really enjoying Cabin in the Sky, but Little Joe is the original boy but still manages to be hilarious and lovable. Thanks for reading. Sincerely, Anthony Davis.
I think it is on the level of... See, I don't know if Book goes out on a limb as much as Django does, but Book very much has an active love for Burnham.
Have you started this last season yet?
I've grazed and I watched the finale. So I'm not ready to talk about it in depth.
So you didn't even watch all of the episodes? You just cut right straight to the finale?
I've grazed.
Okay, because I haven't started at all.
Yeah, I've grazed. And, spoiler, I love the fact that Book and Burnham end up in a love that goes on. And I love the fact that...
Oh, well, thank you. You said spoiler. Okay.
I mean, it's Star Trek.
Yeah, right.
And this kind of is a spoiler. Like, I love the fact that the show lets you know that they really end up together. Like at one point they're like old people together.
Oh, nice.
So we're not gonna have that fuckery of somebody coming 2 years from now and somebody's gonna die off screen or they go away or I'm still upset that Cisco went away with the
went into the
wormhole.
Yeah, people
with the founders.
Right.
And now he's just gone.
Yeah.
Like he had a newborn.
I know.
And Jake.
I know. Just left Penny Johnson
and just left him. Like we
at
all
the bar.
Like we all saw the episode with Tony Todd as grown up Jake. And the heartbreak of being an abandoned black child. And we still in the quietly, that's how I also know it was some black people involved with Discovery.
Oh, well.
Because I know, I feel like a version of this exchange happened in the writer's room.
Oh, yeah.
Like they said, we're not going to have a Cisco situation.
Exactly.
But I think it's a great love story. I think it's a fantastic love story.
But not on par with Django.
No, no, probably. Look, man, ain't nobody on
Django's the greatest love story of all time.
Look, man. Look. Look.
I'm there with you, Vince.
Fire, blood, death. But he still took time to teach the horse how to do a little dance for him.
He did. He very much did.
So Hildy laughed. Like Hildy did her little hands like this and laughed because the horse did a little trot. It was 50 dead people in a blown up house right behind them.
Mm-hmm.
But he still did the horse did the little trot. And Hildy clapped her hands because Django, did a little trick.
Just for you.
Just for you, Hildy.
Just for you, baby.
I'm going to rain down hell on the entire state of Mississippi to get you. But also, I taught the horse a little trick. Just for you. And you have your own horse because I treat you as an equal.
That's
like
right.
We are equals. And then the last shot of Hildy in the silhouette is she got a rifle.
That's right.
She about to get her thing on too.
Ride or die. Ride or die.
Look, man. Look.
Django. Oh, yeah.
All right, but go ahead.
Y'all ain't ready. All right. So that was our email, ladies and gentlemen.
Thank you.
You want to have your thoughts read out here on the Micheaux Mission, you can email us at micheauxmission@gmail.com. That's MICHEAUXMISSION@gmail.com. Look at this. Aaron Fry in the chat is positing that we could redirect Driving Miss Daisy to Hoax Revenge.
Well, the funny thing, we were talking about in Living Color a little bit last week, and I said, the ratio between dumb skits and smart skits was never what I wanted it to be, but when they were smart, they were really smart. Rod and Miss Daisy
I remember that.
is the only sequel I've ever needed to Driving Miss Daisy. And no one's ever going to do anything better than Rod and Miss Daisy. So
I remember that. That was funny. That was funny. All right. Let's keep this train moving, ladies and gentlemen.
Right.
It is now time for the top 5.
All right.
Top 5. Who's your top 5? My top 5 is. My top 5 is. My top 5 is.
Top 5, ladies and gentlemen, where I give Vincent a list and he shares with all of us his scintillating commentary on said list. Tonight, Vincent, keeping in theme.
Okay.
We are going to be reviewing Cabin in the Sky, which stars one Rex Ingram.
It does. It does.
Lucifer Jr.
Lucifer Jr.
Vincent, our top 5 tonight.
Okay.
Is The Devil Wears Black.
Okay.
Top 5 iterations of the devil that were by black performers.
Oh, that's interesting. There are 5? You found 5?
Well, I actually have a honorable mention at number 6.
This is complete. Oh, yeah. Do this.
At number 6.
Okay.
From 1976.
Okay.
This was a TV movie.
Oh, I know what this is.
You do?
Yeah. Was it like the Double and Max?
No. So this is from 1976.
Bill Cosby?
No.
Okay, go ahead. I'm sorry.
A virus goes around making people happy.
Okay.
And as cigarette and alcohol sales slump and other economic problems come up, the government tries to stop the spread of the quote unquote disease. But those who have caught happy find ways to spread it.
Okay.
An extended dream sequence presents a biblical allegory about the creation, downfall, and rebirth of humanity, told through a series of surrealistic vignettes and musical numbers. In 1976, Mary's Incredible Dream, starring Mary Tyler Moore.
Okay, interesting.
Who falls asleep and has a dream about the book of Genesis being told as an elaborately staged 1930s movie musical full of recycled show tunes. And then they actually made it It was on TV, on CBS, starring Mary Tyler Moore, Doug Kershaw, and as the devil, Ben Vereen.
Interesting.
Song and dance man himself, Ben Vereen, in Mary's Incredible Dream.
Have you seen this? Had you heard of it?
I have seen clips of Mary's Incredible Dream.
Is this something I would like? Because you've said a lot of things in the past 3 minutes that made me think this sounds like this could be my jam.
It is worth the YouTube watch.
Now, is Ben Vereen wearing like devil stuff?
Yes.
Oh yeah. Say no more.
Yes.
The young people say less. All right.
There you go. So that's our honorable mention.
Okay. Oh, okay.
That's the honorable mention.
Oh, these are. Oh, let's go. Let's go.
Number 5.
I'm liking this. Number 5
from 1977.
Okay.
In a film written and directed by Cliff Rogemore, we have G. Tito Shaw in Petey Wheatstraw.
Oh, there it is.
The Devil's Son-in-Law.
Yes, sir.
Stars Rudy Ray Moore, along with Jimmy Lynch, Leroy Daniels, Ernest Maitland, and Ebony Wright, and wild man Steve Gallen.
Yes, that's right.
A successful nightclub comedian is murdered by jealous rivals. He is then resurrected. I repeat, he is resurrected along with his killed friends through a literal deal with the devil.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Played by one G. Tito Shaw, having agreed to marry the devil's daughter. He gains powers through a magic cane.
Yes.
And uses them to seek revenge. Wishing to renege on the deal, the comedian eventually attacks and kills the devil.
Yeah, yeah.
But he is shocked when confronted by the resurrected devil in his car.
Yeah, yeah. We actually reviewed that.
We did review
with our
this
good friends,
with our good friends
and Dorian Missick.
Dorian Missick.
Yeah. Good time.
Good. That was a good time. That was a good time.
You know, look. You know, I love Petey Wheatstraw.
I know you do.
The Devil's Son-in-Law.
And G. Tito Shaw, not a lot of credits.
Not a lot of credits.
This is literally his most famous role.
Well, and I think we said when we watched it, in the midst of all the chaos and nonsense, he wasn't bad.
It wasn't bad.
It wasn't bad.
You would think that he'd have showed up someplace else. Yeah. Shows up in no other
That's
place.
A good one. That's a good pull.
Number 4.
From
1995.
Okay.
You will be familiar with this one as well, Vincent.
Okay.
In a film, a horror anthology.
Okay.
Directed by one Rusty Cundiff.
Yes.
Clarence Williams III plays Mr. Sims.
Yes.
In Tales from the Hood.
Yes, he does.
The film represents 4 short urban-themed horror stories based on problems that affect the African-American community, police corruption, domestic abuse, racism, and gang violence. They're presented within a frame story of 3 drug dealers buying some found drugs from an eccentric and story-prone funeral director, one Mr. Sims.
Yeah, oh yeah.
Played by Clarence Williams III.
You remember at the end, they have like some 90s CGI where he turns into the actual devil from like the movie Legend.
Yes.
Like with the horns and they're like, they go balls to the wall. He is the devil. They
saved most of the CGI budget for that last bit.
Oh boy. That's Tale Boy.
No,
that's good stuff right there. Tales from the Hood is good stuff.
That's a fun movie.
Yeah. All right.
That's a fun movie.
This is a good list. I like everything on here so far.
All right. Number 3. This is a film that I was unaware of.
Okay.
I'm curious if you are aware of it. It's from 2014.
Okay.
A romantic fantasy film that stars Colin Farrell, Jessica Brown Findlay, Jennifer Connelly, William Hurt, Eva Marie Saint in her final role before retiring from film.
Okay.
Russell Crowe, and in the role of Lucifer, Will Smith in Winter's Tale.
I'm unfamiliar with this.
A burglar falls for an heiress as she dies in his arms. When he learns that he has the gift of reincarnation, he sets out to save her. Will Smith plays Lucifer. Russell Crowe plays Pearlie Soames, a demon in hell, who's kind of like the second to Lucifer, kind of like his right hand man,
like Lucifer Jr. and
exactly. In this film from 2014 that received negative reviews, and became a bit of a box office bomb, grossing only $30 million on a $75 million budget.
And all them people in it, I'm surprised the budget's that small. They must have really believed in this because somebody took a pay cut.
Yeah, but it didn't. It was released in the United Kingdom and Ireland as a New York Winter's Tale, but that didn't save it. It's based on a 1983 novel, Winter's Tale by Mark Helprin, and was written, produced, and directed in his directorial debut by Akiva Goldsman.
Oh,
there you have it.
There it is. There. There it is right there. Yeah, there. You should have led with that.
Yeah.
Because that's what everybody else led with. It said directed by Akiva Goldsman. And then we all collectively said, we're not doing that.
Yeah, we're not doing that.
Like, we didn't even see the cast.
Yeah.
All right.
And you got to figure this cast, they probably like owed him one.
Oh my goodness.
Because Akiva Goldsman, for those who don't know, is a noted producer in Hollywood.
Right. He's done some writing.
Yeah.
But really his big thing is
producing.
Right.
And when he and his writing, to be fair, he has done some writing.
Yeah.
But I think some of the writing that you might be aware of, that you say, well, I like that. He kind of probably put his name on.
Sure.
You know, or like a co-writing credit.
Favor. Akiva Goldsman strikes me as somebody who has
got a file,
got a box, with pictures, video, and tapes, and
I would not be surprised.
So but okay.
Number
Probably not
2,
gonna see this one. All right, what's number 2
from 2018?
2018,
the Black horror comedy anthology. Mm-hmm. This one also written and directed by Rusty Cundiff.
Okay.
This one also called Tales from the Hood, but Tales from the Hood 2.
Yes.
And stars Keith David.
Okay.
As Mr. Sims.
Sure.
In the reprisal of Tales from the Hood. It basically has the same type of setup.
Sure.
So there is like a framing sequence around these other stories.
Sure.
The framing sequence goes a robo hell. At sometime in the not too distant future, Bill Martin Williams plays Dumbass Beach.
Okay.
A racist and sleazy prison operator working with his aides, Grant and Kelly, to lead a team to construct an army of AI robo-patriots who can learn from firsthand experience as well as secondhand stories and function as law enforcement officers. He recruits the great storyteller, Mr. Sims, Keith David, to fill their heads with information from his stories to help them better determine who is a criminal and thereby fill his prisons, suggesting Black Lives Matter as the theme. With that in mind, Sims tells his first story. And then horror ensues in Tales from the Hood 2.
I did not see this.
I didn't see it either.
Yeah, the people I know that saw it didn't fill me with confidence.
Yeah.
But Keith David seems like a good choice.
If you can't get Clarence Williams, which I don't believe you could in 2018, Keith David is definitely a good choice. Keith David is
good. All right. Okay, so it's 2 Black Devils, and you only have one spot in my head. So who's number 1?
Number 1 from 1981.
Okay.
A fantasy comedy film.
Yeah.
Directed by Stephen Hilliard Stern, produced by Walt Disney Productions.
I know.
And starring Susan Ansbach, Elliot Gould.
Yeah, that's right.
And
as the devil,
Bill Cosby.
There it is.
The Devil and Max Devlin.
Yeah.
Max, a corrupt businessman, makes a Faustian pact with Satan's henchman to drive 3 people to hell in exchange for a longer life. Soon, Max realizes that there still may be good in him. This film was considered to be controversial for a Disney film at the time, partly because of the subject matter.
Yes.
You think. But also because of course, Bill Cosby's atypical portrayal of a villainous character. The film was one of 3 that influenced Disney to establish Touchstone and Hollywood Pictures as an avenue to produce and release films for mature audiences. Now, The Devil and Max Devlin. Did you see the movie?
I watched the whole thing's on YouTube.
Okay.
And I watched it over the pandemic.
And how does it hold up? Well, did you enjoy it?
It's a strange movie.
Because it is supposed to be a comedy.
Right. And it is, but it's just really bizarre. Even now, with everything we know about Bill Cosby's personal life, it is so bizarre watching him play the devil. And he's like, really? Have you seen it?
I feel like I have, but it obviously has been forever. I feel like if I remember, he like leans into it.
He really leans. Look, it's just a version of the oh God.
George Burns.
It's just a version of the George Burns Oh God movies.
Okay.
It's just Bill Cosby playing the devil. So, it's like, this is really weird.
And this would have been right before the Cosby Show, because it's 81.
Right. This is during that bananas period of his career that I love.
Yeah, he's trying to find
where he kept getting bites at the apple. Bill Cosby's got a variety show. Bill Cosby has a dramedy. Bill Cosby plays the devil.
And he's got all the commercials.
Right.
He's Mr. Jello.
Bill Cosby's at the Playboy Mansion.
Yeah.
All the time.
Got a suite.
Yeah. So, I don't know if I'd recommend it, but there are good clips of it where Bill Cosby is wilding out.
Okay.
So
there you go. That is the top 5.
So you did not mention the Black Devil from Crossroads.
Oh.
Which I have.
I see Aaron Fry's mentioning in the chat.
I have come, not this close, but this close to arguing that it's a black movie for a long time.
I'm not sure I ever saw the movie.
Oh, Ralph Macchio plays a guitar player, and he gets taken under the wing of an old guitar player who absolutely definitively is not Robert Johnson. But it is a dude who has sold his soul to the devil. And then, Ralph Macchio wants to be a blues man. So they kind of go and they kind of busk across the United States and they end up in a contest.
Oh, maybe
where Ralph Macchio has to play his guitar against a hard rock dude. Joe Morton's in it.
Now I'm thinking it sounds familiar. Maybe I did see it.
It's really entertaining. It's like one of those random 80s films that I loved.
Yeah, see, Ralph Macchio leaves me cold. So
you don't like Ralph Macchio? You don't mess with Ralph Macchio?
I mean, do you really?
I love Ralph Macchio.
Do you really, or do you really love the Karate Kid?
Look, I like the Karate Kid.
I like the Karate Kid.
Who was I just talking to? My daughter were just talking about.
Y'all were talking about Ralph Macchio?
Yes, because we both love The Outsiders. They showed The Outsiders to her senior class, I think, in high school, because they were reading it. And I love The Outsiders movie.
Yeah, he is in that movie.
Stay Gold, Pony Boy. Oh, he's 100% in that movie.
I barely remember.
Oh, I loved it. Speaking of Stevie Wonder, 80s material. He does the theme song to The Outsiders.
He does?
Stay Gold.
Wow.
Yeah.
It's been ever ago since I seen that movie.
Yeah. I also keep that in my pocket for it. And maybe we can do this for programming. Oh, And an invaluable tool for 6 Degrees of D'Urville Martin.
Oh, I thought you were about to say like to bring up on the show.
No,
not a black film.
No. But I absolutely keep that in my pocket.
Oh yeah, because you got all the actors in there. Yeah, that certainly makes sense. So for 6 Degrees, do you like just go study films that's got these?
I do.
Yeah.
I do. Like I have some in my pocket that I know can be useful. Yeah. And The Outsiders is 100% one of those movies.
Pull out The Outsiders?
Uh-huh.
Okay.
All right.
Well, we're going to test that quiver right now, Vincent.
There you go. Transition. Here we go.
Test that quiver right now as we go into the Game of Kings.
Yes, we do.
It is 6 Degrees of D'Urville Martin.
Right.
Six Degrees of D'Urville Martin, ladies and gentlemen, where Vincent has 6 films or less to connect the actors that I give him to that man who will never be redirected because he is an actor.
Yes, he is.
D'Urville Martin.
1970s
blaxploitation and cinema fame.
Oh, yeah.
Vincent.
Yes, sir.
Tonight's 6 Degrees is, as always, keeping in theme.
Okay. All right. Come on. Let's go. Who we got?
In 6 films or less, connect D'Urville Martin
to
one of the stars from Cabin in the Sky.
All right, who?
Eddie Rochester Anderson.
Yeah.
This is a very easy one.
Well, I feel bad about it because, like you're talking about prep. Like I always do the stars.
Yeah, I know.
So this is, D'Urville Martin is actually in Guess Who's Coming to Dinner with Spencer Tracy. And Spencer Tracy is in maybe your favorite film.
One of my favorite films.
It's a mad world. Is it 4 Mads?
It's 4 Mads.
It's a mad world with Eddie Rochester Anderson. Yeah.
Very good.
Yeah.
Very good. Anytime we can re-mention it's a mad world,
right?
It's a good time for me.
There you go.
So well done, Vincent.
Yeah, there you go.
All right.
Yeah.
Now keeping in theme.
Okay.
In 6 films or less.
All right.
Connect D'Urville Martin to another Eddie.
Oh, okay.
Ed Helms.
Okay. All right. The easiest way to get to him is
another ensemble movie.
I mean, look, I guess Ed Helms has been up. Oh, didn't he lead that, like the Vacation remake?
He did.
Yeah, but I don't even know who was.
You don't know who else.
Yeah. But Ed Helms.
That's not.
Ed
that's
Helms,
not
you're
going.
You're going with him to The Hangover,
right?
Or speaking of Eddie Murphy films that I think could be remade and done better with a little bit more attention, he's also in Meet Dave.
That's right.
Yeah,
that's right.
Yeah.
Right.
But let's do The Hangover because I feel a little bad about Rochester because I was like ready for it.
Yeah.
So now I'm going to go for I think I have enough. Okay. So D'Urville Martin is in Sheba Baby with Pam Grier. Pam Grier is in Hitman with Bernie Casey. Bernie Casey is in Cornbread Earl and Me with Lawrence Fishburne. So that's 3. Lawrence Fishburne is in, I believe, The Matrix Reloaded.
I think he's in all of them. So.
No. But Donnie Yen is only in one of them.
Right.
And I think he's in The Matrix Reloaded.
Okay. All right. So it really is a matter of whether or not Donnie Yen is
right. Is he in Reloaded or is he in Resurrections?
Let's find out.
Or wait, the third one in the trilogy is Resurrections, and the new one is Revolutions, or is the third one Revolutions? Right. The third one was Revolutions. So is he in Reloaded or Revolutions?
Donnie is in. Jesus. Hold on.
Just do Donnie Yen and Matrix.
I'm doing. I did Donnie Yen, and I'm looking for. This. Wow, that must hold that. That must not be his whole filmography because it's not coming up.
He's 100% in because he fights Neo.
I know.
Yeah.
I know he's there.
Yeah.
I'm just trying to figure where. Hold on. I hear y'all hollering. Just calm down. Calm your nanos. Tiny.
I need to pull out my phone.
No, you don't. Calm down. You calm your. I don't think he's in the Matrix.
He's 100%.
Dude, I am looking at his filmography right now. I am looking at the man's filmography. I am not seeing. I'm flipping back. I'm scanning. I'm scrolling. Yeah, I'm not seeing him. I'm not seeing him, Vincent. I could have sworn he was in it too. Nope.
Okay. Then I'm not going to use who I'm going to use.
I guess you're not.
Because I was going to use Donnie Yen.
Then who is it?
And Mike Tyson.
It's not Jackie. It's not Jet Li.
It's not Jet Li. All right. Well, never mind then. So we're doing the hangar. We ate up enough time with that. So I'll just Derville Martin, Dick Anthony Williams, Samuel L. Jackson, Avengers Endgame with Bradley Cooper. Bradley Cooper's in The Hangover with Ed Helms.
Very good.
Since we ate it up. Who does Neo fight that we're thinking about?
I'm looking at
We're
Reloaded.
being like ambiently racist, apparently.
I'm looking at Reloaded right now. Just see. And nobody's coming up. Nobody's in Reloaded. So let's see if it's in
Resurrections. Because it's one scene.
Or Revolutions.
Revolutions, yeah.
There.
That is so bizarre. I'm looking right at the scene. Like they're fighting on a table. All right.
Don't know.
Weird.
And without knowing the character's name, I can't pull.
Sure.
Yeah.
All right. Well, there you go.
Interesting.
Oh, I really wanted to use Mike Tyson.
Oh.
Yeah. Isn't that always the way?
Well, he's been used enough. All right. I have a question for you before we get into our review of Cabin in the Sky, ladies and gentlemen. That's coming up next.
Mm-hmm.
For no reason, I was. Why did I do this? Oh, I was watching a movie, one of my favorite movies, and for some reason, watching it, it got me thinking about my favorite movies. Like if I had to think what my 10 favorite movies are of all time. And I can name my 10 favorite movies of all time.
Okay.
And I know really which one is first, but I would never say what is first, but I know what those 10. And I don't know if you know your 10 favorite movies of all time.
Yeah, because it revolves and
right. But how many of your 10 favorite would you say are black films?
So Do the Right Thing, Uptown Saturday Night, Daughters of the Dust, Eve's Bayou.
Well, you're at 5 already, right? Or was that 4?
That's 4. So that's 4 that I just rattle off that are my absolute favorite. Because, you said 10, so I'm doing favorite and like best.
Oh, okay.
Of my favorite, like like I love School Days, but like I don't love School Days more than I love Jaws,
right? Or
The Godfather. So it wouldn't be in my so I guess 4.
That's just interesting.
Off the top of the dome,
counting for you. And without knowing movies, but I was like, Vincent is probably about a good 6 or 7.
Yeah.
I'm at 4.
Yeah.
I'm at 4 too. Love Jones.
Oh, okay.
Friday.
Okay. Oh, you do love Friday.
Pariah.
Oh, you do love Pariah. That's your one right there. What's that? What's the 4th? You're not going to say Pluto Nash, are you?
No, I'm not going to say Pluto Nash.
Okay.
Now you made me forget it because it was Love Jones, Pariah, Love Jones, Pariah,
Friday,
and Uptown Saturday Night.
Okay, yeah.
And Uptown Saturday, yeah. Those are my 4.
Yeah. Okay.
All right. Well, it's interesting.
All right.
It's interesting that The Godfather is also on my list.
Yeah.
But I always question whether or not I want to put it as Godfather 1 and 2, or do I just want to say Godfather and like it be both?
I think Godfather is actually perfect on its own.
It is.
Like I think what makes 1 and 2 work is that they are actually complementary.
Well, certainly.
Like you don't have to, like you can watch Godfather 2 and you've never seen Godfather.
Absolutely.
And vice versa.
Absolutely.
Like I think that's what makes them work so well.
I separate them. The reason I realize that I separate them is because as much as I love them both.
Of course.
But I think I'm pretty sure I like the second one more.
That's fair.
Because of Robert De Niro.
Sure.
I just think he does fantastic.
Sure. I love the tragedy of the American dream in the first one.
Yeah.
Like I love how, something we talk about all the time in my class, like it's like how Black people and our relationship to the American dream is warped because of slavery and racism and everything. So that, I'm sort of fascinated with the immigrant American dream and the fact that The Godfather is this great tragedy where, try as they can to get it. Like they're right there with Michael.
And just, yeah.
And then it just, and Diane Keaton is like it's there, like he's gotten a degree, he's gotten like this perfect white woman, like he's like, I am no longer going to be
came home from
this
the war
Italian guy.
Yeah.
Like I'm going to be an American.
It's set up for him.
Right. These stereotypes.
And this is what they want for him.
Right.
It's not even like the family's pulling at him.
Right. And just, I'm not really saying anything people don't know, but that door closing at the end is just brutal.
You know what? And that is brutal. But the most brutal part to me is that he can show up a year later and literally take Diane Keaton off the street.
Yeah.
And just put her in the car. Like, come on. Like, just kick 2 minutes a game walking up the street.
Yeah.
And she's in the car and going. And it's like, yo, what?
Yeah.
Crazy.
Yeah. So I guess what we're going with, and we're going to stand on this because we're being recorded. This is for posterity. Is that you and I both think that The Godfather is a fine film.
It is a very fine film.
There you go. All right.
Film.
We're not afraid to make the tough.
No, tough calls.
Tough calls. Yeah.
Yeah.
Godfather. Fine
At
film.
me.
Oh yeah.
All right.
Al Pacino, great actor.
I don't care what anybody says.
Look, man. Again, not afraid to make the tough calls.
That's right.
It's a hot take.
Hot take.
All right.
Well, it's time for us to review 1943's Cabin in the Sky. A compulsive gambler dies during a shooting, but he'll receive a second chance to reform himself and to make up with his worried wife in Cabin in the Sky, a musical starring Ethel Waters, Eddie Rochester Anderson, Lena Horne, Rex Ingram, and featuring cameos by Louis Armstrong.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
As well as Duke Ellington, Manton Moreland, John W. Bubbles, in a film that is an adaptation of a hit Broadway play that Rex Ingram and Ethel Waters starred in 3 years prior to this. And the film features the directorial debut of one Vincent Minnelli, as well as some uncredited direction by the uber talented Busby Berkeley.
Yeah.
And Vincent's selection for our 398th stop here on the Micheaux Mission. Vincent, what say you of Cabin in the Sky?
I do not dig in the crates as much as you do. So, I don't have a vast array of films from the 40s that I point to, but I am surprised it took us this long to get to A Cabin in the Sky, because this is my favorite movie from this period of these Black films. As you mentioned, it's adapted from the stage play.
Yep.
And the storyline is taken straight up from it. And I think right there, for me, this is part of what separates this from a lot of the films with Black performers during this period, where a lot of them, I'm not going to say all, because as I started with, I don't know all of them, but the ones that I've seen, and frankly, the ones that we've talked about on this show, including the film that came out the same year as this, Stormy Weather.
That's right.
It never seems to me like as much attention is paid to the story itself. In a lot of ways, because you have these magnificent performers, it's almost like an hour and a half, hour and 45 version of those wonderful episodes of 70s television that
variety show,
or not even variety shows, where something would happen. There'd be some type of MacGuffin where we have to raise money, we have to keep the something center open, that, and the other, and then the cast puts on a talent show, sing, dance, whatever. But this is an actual plot. Yeah. This is an actual story where this with stakes, where, as you said, Joe dies.
Yes.
At the beginning.
Little Joe
dies, and you have this wonderful bargain between heaven and hell. This bet basically about whether or not he can change his ways. And while there are light moments, it's not played for jokes. Like, Little Joe is going to go to hell. And I love that aspect of it. The irony of what I just said about these other productions that are just kind of placeholders until we get to the performers is that this is a film with some great performers in it.
Boy, yeah. At the height of their powers.
At the height of their powers, there's there are a couple of performances throughout, a couple of appearances throughout, where people show up for maybe one or two moments. Yeah. You have star Ethel Waters.
Yes.
Brother Bill Bailey shows up.
Yes.
Who's a dancer. One scene. It is the documented first filming of what we have come to know as the moonwalk.
That's right.
And he's fantastic in the moment that he is there. You have the great Butterfly McQueen, who is most famous from Gone with the Wind, but who we also know from Amazing Grace. She plays Ethel Waters' character, Petunia's friend.
Yeah.
At maybe 3 scenes?
Yeah, maybe.
But she's, you know,
she's cute.
She's cute. She's got this wonderful energy. She has this pop.
Yes.
That makes you say, who is that?
Yeah. Yeah.
You have, as you mentioned, a cameo by Louis Armstrong.
Boy, you talk about making the most out of a little.
Where just to get out of my, you know, I'll break form, you know, I kind of go through the performances. Louis Armstrong plays one of Lucifer Jr.'s idea men.
Yeah.
And there's a scene where Lucifer Jr. is in his office with the idea men. The idea men played, as I said, there's Louis Armstrong, there's Mantan Moreland, and then there is Willie Best, who is better known by his stage name, Sleep and Eat.
Yeah.
Lynn, I could have watched an entire film of Lucifer Jr.'s idea men bouncing off of each other.
Yes. Yes.
And the timing and the wit, as you said, Louis Armstrong gets maybe 3 lines, maybe 4 of dialogue. But my God, why did that man not act more?
I know.
Lena Horne, who, if you look at the posters, you look at the material, you think Lena Horne is in this film.
This is the Lena Horne movie, right?
Than she is. But my God, when Lena Horne is in here, at one point, I actually texted Lynn earlier today and I said, Lena Horne is actually ridiculous. She's actually ridiculous. And if you listen to our Stormy Weather episode, which also stars Lena Horne. They use the same strategy with Lena Horne in here, where there's never a scene that starts and Lena Horne is present.
No,
she always makes an entrance.
Absolutely,
because
we all know where the eyes are going.
It's Lena Horne
in 1943,
and besides being beautiful, sensual, everything, she has great presence.
Oh,
she has great presence. She is charming. She is fun.
Yeah.
Like Lena Horne has great comedic timing. When you think about the fact
she's a good actress,
she is bouncing off of Eddie Rochester Anderson and Ethel Waters, 2 people who throughout this time show that they are comedic juggernauts. And she is right with them. She is right with them. Rex Ingram, we mentioned.
As Lucifer
Jr. We've talked about Rex Ingram a couple of times on this show. And Rex Ingram is wonderful.
Oh.
Just this booming voice, this
you talk about a presence.
A presence.
Yes.
All of it. Mention Ethel Waters. Love Ethel Waters. And I have to say, this is a film, you know, I referenced a moment ago those great episodes of 70s shows where there's a talent show. And the reason you could do that is because all these people were from the Chitlin circuit. They were from Broadway. They're from in vaudeville. And everybody does everything.
Yeah.
And I knew Ethel Waters could sing. And I knew Ethel Waters could be funny and act a little bit. But there is a moment in here where Ethel Waters is dancing with
John Bubbles.
John Bubbles, a professional dancer. Hoofer. And Ethel Waters is not a small woman. She is moving.
Dude.
She is moving. Dude. They do a little cha-cha step.
Dude.
And Ethel Waters is right there with them.
Ethel Waters is kicking her legs.
Yes.
And she is kicking her whole legs, ladies and gentlemen. She damn dots out her eye. And she is kicking them legs up.
And for a film that kind of starts with this very simplistic binary of Lena Horne's character is, of course, the succubus. And Ethel Waters is the Christian.
Right, the prayerful woman.
You know, the prayerful woman. She is sexy at the end when she has on her little outfit
and she knows it.
And she knows it. But I thought that was a radical move for this film.
It's a very radical move for this film, but it's Ethel Waters doing.
It's Ethel Waters doing, where once again, we're talking about her dancing with this professional dancer. She vamps with the aforementioned Lena Horne, where there's a line of dialogue where Lena Horne says, "You don't have what I have." And she is in her full Lena Horness when she says it. And Ethel Waters says, "I have what you have, but a little more."
But more of it.
And it reads, it gets across.
Oh, dude, there are lines. I don't know if this was, I think this is postcode. You know,
right? You have to look up the Hayes Act. Well, I say right because Lena Horne sings a song called "Honey."
No, that's Ethel Waters sings it.
No, Lena Horne sings it first, and
that's
then
right.
Ethel Waters sings it.
Because Ethel Waters sings the reprise.
I was like, this is real nasty.
Yeah. This is postcode, but it's black people.
And then there's Eddie Anderson, who
Rochester.
We're calling him Rochester.
Rochester.
And Rochester is the character that he played opposite Jack Benny.
Yes.
Well, first on the radio, then on the television show.
And in some movies.
I was about to say, and the movies. And is that his voice in the cartoon?
Yes, it's all of their voices.
On the cartoon where they play mice.
Yes.
And, I have to say, I'm a little ambivalent about Rochester with Jack Benny, because it is kind of, oh, Mr. Benny is old, and they never play him as stupid, but it is kind of like
that gets phased out.
Eddie Anderson in this film, surrounded by black people, you 100% get it. Because like everybody else I just said, he's funny, he has wonderful timing. Eddie Anderson has a little voice. He can carry a tune.
Yes.
Eddie Anderson plays the guitar a little bit.
Does a little soft shoe.
Eddie Anderson does a little soft shoe. So that the spirit of the film, like I said, the plot of the film, where this is an actual film, like there's music throughout. But I have to say, the film wouldn't have been as strong without the music. But I think the film would have been okay without. Like they could have.
It would have been just a nice movie.
Been a nice movie.
Yeah.
I thought the set design was surprisingly solid for this to be a 40s film. We talk about when you read about this, they talk about the fact that this is one of the first and one of the few big studio productions with black cast, and you can see the money.
Oh, yeah.
In places. Yeah. So, there's a set design for Heaven. There's a wonderful scene, talking about the direction where the bar gets destroyed by a tornado.
Yeah.
The costumes of the demons and the angels I thought were fantastic. So that I have always loved this film. And I did not change my opinion at all after watching it again today. I do. I love Cabin in the Sky.
Oh, it is a great film, and I'll touch on a couple of things that you didn't touch on. And you're talking about the set design, and the set design is phenomenal. Vincent Minnelli, this is his directorial debut, and he's known for directing quite a few musicals in his life. He will go on after this to direct Meet Me in St. Louis, which is the film where he met his wife to be, Judy Garland. An American in Paris, Gigi. And he's also known for being a guy who, at least history would have you think, that he's not much of a storyteller as a director. And he's more of a person that just likes to paint a pretty picture.
Okay.
Right? And I'm not going to say whether or not that is 100% the case or not, because some of his, I'm not super big on a lot of his musicals. But in this one, I can see the inventiveness that he has. And that is what stands out in this production, as akin to all the other black productions of this time, including Stormy Weather. There's a scene in the beginning of this film where Little Joe is, he's a gambler, but he's supposedly reformed at the beginning of the film, and he's going to go to church. And there's a scene that is set in the church where, the people in the congregation all start playing, the story of where you're passing the story along, because they see Little Joe sitting in the back of the church.
Right.
But they're doing this as a song is going on.
Yeah. Yeah.
So the camera, everyone's singing the song. A person gets up, sings a lead part in the song as this story is going around, people whispering in ears. That person sits down, and then it gets passed to their ear as another person stands up, and it all goes zigzagging back to the back of the pews, where there's Petunia, Ethel Waters, and Little Joe, Rochester sitting in the back. It is such brilliant storytelling, along with still getting across the music. There's fabulous music in the scene. And all of the scenes are like that. The dance numbers, which, the song, a lot of these songs become dance numbers. They're all filmed. We've talked about it before, so that you can see the entire performer. They are totally framed within the camera, so you can see their whole body being used in the film, in the dance. And with that, you are seeing one of the most brilliant and beautiful depictions of Black joy at that time.
Yeah.
On screen. And I don't know about you, but it just made me just well up with a smile. Yeah. Just watching these performers in their full glory, just strutting, and the camera just going with them at every step, because they know what they're capturing for posterity, right? There's a scene where Ethel Waters, Ethel Waters is you can see that she already in 1943 is an American treasure. Yeah,
absolutely.
But this film is where it cements her as an American treasure, because this movie absolutely loves Ethel Waters, and more importantly, it loves her full body. Like you said, she is a prayerful woman, but she's a woman.
Yes, she is.
She's a smart woman, right, who does not suffer any fools. You are not going to switch dice out on me.
That's right.
She wears it well. The camera, when Vincent Minnelli puts that camera on her face, and you just see her brilliant smile just light up the screen.
You understand why Little Joe is with her.
100%,
absolutely,
to understand why he is with her, and why and why, for a lot of this film, he is trying to do the right thing by her.
Yes.
He can't wait, because there's a moment in the film when he brings home a washing machine for her.
Yes, which he has promised.
Yes. And here you go, baby. And next week I get you some electricity so that we can use this thing. But it is oh my God, it's just so beautiful. Do you know the story behind that dance number between Lena Horne and Ethel Waters? First of all, Ethel Waters, who originated this role on Broadway, was a little ambivalent about returning to it for the films. But she slowly started ad-libbing some things and changing some things in the script to give her character a little bit more agency. Okay. So she just wouldn't be this one-note prayerful person. Sure. And if you're watching the first half of the movie, that kind of sets up the plot of, him, dying in the war between the devil and God, and you've got 6 months to turn things around. You could think that she's just going to be this prayerful woman for the rest of the movie.
Oh, there's 100% versions of this film. We have seen versions of this film.
Exactly. We've seen it.
Yeah.
But she peppered in a lot of things, and like we're talking to the directors, and fortunately she had a welcome ear in Vincent Minnelli.
Yeah.
To infuse this character with a lot more agency, right? She was also dead set on doing this because the rumor is that Vincent Minnelli at this time was having a bit of he was holding private sessions, if you were, with Lena Horne.
Oh, knows.
At the time.
Yeah. Well.
So she was, and Lena Horne, Ethel Waters already a star, not older, not old,
but more established. Yeah.
Then Lena Horne definitely coming into herself at this time. A little ambivalent about what's going on here. Comes the time where they have to film that scene, right? Where Lena sings one version of Honey and Ethel sings another. It was supposed to be the other way around. Ethel Waters was supposed to sing the more sitting up on the bar, in one place version, slower, sultry version, and Lena Horne was supposed to play the rascally, sultry, big dance number.
Right.
Lena Horne sprained her ankle.
Interesting.
She sprained her ankle because if you notice, the rest of that scene, which is set in the bar, which is kind of like the big set piece for the end. There's a moment where her and Little Joe come pulling up to the bar, and then everybody comes out and they crowd around the bar, and then they kind of like all crowd around, and the next thing you know, Lena Horne is basically up on the bar.
Yes.
That is because they literally had to carry her
to the bar.
From the car to the bar because of her ankle being sprained.
Lynn Webb with the old-timey factoids.
So they had to switch it around. So now she sings the sultry moment. Okay. And then if you also notice the rest of that scene, she's in a chair.
Yeah.
She never really moves. She kind of like stands up a little bit, but never fully.
Right.
And then
I just assumed they didn't want Lena Horne to.
Right. Maybe upstage or whatever.
Lena Horne.
Right.
Yes. Okay.
So they have to switch. And Ethel Waters now has to sing the more sultry, vibe, right?
Yeah.
Which fits with her character because of how she's coming in at that time. And now she's kind of like feeling herself. And she's kind of like trying to maybe tempt Little Joe back a little bit.
And the fact that the script is so strong that it has been foreshadowing that.
Exactly.
It doesn't come out of nowhere.
It doesn't feel...
Right. As you mentioned, that moment where she shoots dice is such a great moment.
Yes, and it lets you that so that when she does come in at the end, it doesn't feel false.
I mean, hell, even at the beginning where she says Joe is actually good at gambling, but I'm just praying to the Lord to keep him from winning.
Exactly.
There's something a little bit more nuanced going on than Florida Evans going, oh, James. Every episode of Good Times.
You hit it right on the... So now Ethel Waters has to sing the sultry part.
Yeah.
She has to do the big dance number with the hoofu, with Johnny Bubbles. And doesn't miss a beat.
Kills it.
Kills it.
My very, because as you said, we've been doing this almost 400 episodes now. So you and I are seasoned critics.
Well, Nicole said we're black film critics.
And black film critics. What I wrote down in my notebook was, all right now, Ethel Waters, I see you.
Oh, I said Miss E. I see you, Miss E.
Yeah.
She kills it in this movie.
You know what? Speaking of in a lot of ways, these kind of simplistic, flat depictions of this kind of morality tale, something you and I have talked about before. Because again, we've seen maybe 2 or 3 versions of this.
Yeah,
and my joke has always been they don't really sell Christianity that well in these movies, because it's always like in church, it's all very sort of stiff and staged. And then when they go to the jute joint, it's like Catherine Dunham and a bunch of people, and then there's Cab Calloway up there. And I'm like, well, shit, maybe is it so bad? Go to hell. I mean, if Catherine Dunham and
how hot can it be?
And Cab Calloway gonna be there. But to your point about that wonderful scene where they're playing telephone and telling the story, you see the joy in church. Like you understand that you can, you know, the film is saying you can be good, but also have joy.
Yeah.
And have happy, you know, when she sings, when Ethel Waters sings, you know, a man named Joe,
happiness is a man named Joe.
And the choir comes in, and like, you know, to your point, it's just joy throughout.
Yeah.
So that even at the end, when you know, sweet Georgia Brown, who has been the succubus, gives her life to the church, it's not as kind of awkward.
No,
as you see what these people kind of turn. It's like, no, there's a space for you.
There's a space for it. Yeah. There's a space for it. I mean, this is just a movie that, like, as I was sitting there watching it, I was like, and I know I've seen it before.
Sure.
But, you know, who knows however long ago. And I'm certainly not watching it from this lens. But I quickly even turned this lens off and was just enjoying the movie. I mean, we talked about Rex Ingram. He's great in this. He's absolutely great in this movie.
He is.
I mean, you want to talk about wanting to see more of him? I would have loved to see him get the opportunity to, like, really, really flex.
Yeah.
In some films.
Yeah. Well, remember, he got caught up.
Well, yeah.
He had an issue. What was it? With the 14-year-old girl? Yeah.
Well, I wasn't going to mention, but yeah.
I mean, it happened almost 100 years ago.
Well, I didn't want to take a deflect from just this.
I mean, he's still a one. Yeah, but
okay.
Remember, by the time you get to Anna LaCosta, he's kind of loopy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then you talked about Rochester.
Oh man.
Now me, you know, yes, I'm old timey Len.
Yes.
And I am, yes, one of my podcasts that I listen to is the old radio show of the Jack Benny.
Yeah.
So I am familiar very much with Rochester.
Yeah.
He is so great.
Oh
his comedic timing is so fantastic. I did not know that he had even, because if you ever hear Rochester, he is a man with a voice. When Rochester speaks, you know Rochester. He's
sure, you know, is when Rochester is up.
It's a minute.
And
that is literally how he talks. Like, he's not putting on airs.
Right.
But he's amazingly talented, very intelligent man. And what I didn't know, what I didn't know is that he was a man who, at one time, was the highest paid black performer in Hollywood and worked his money. He was not someone who died penniless. He was a rich man. He lived a very good life until the end. And then we've mentioned him a couple of times. So Rochester is great. Right? So I just love watching him flex. There was a part of me that, like, on Broadway, his role was played by Dooley Anderson, who, for those who don't know, plays Sam in the famous movie Casablanca. And there's a part of me that kind of wishes Dooley Anderson was in this, because Dooley Anderson has kind of like a little bit of the same kind of like Rochester type of vibe, not quite as raspy, a better voice, certainly much more of a musician. But Rochester was the name at this time, so he gets cast for the movie. He like almost like a Diana Ross. Yeah. But it fits and it works.
I think Ethel Waters and Lena Horne would have overshadowed him. I mean, I've only seen him in Casablanca, so I can't
that's only because
really
you've only seen him in Casablanca. I don't think Ethel Waters would have overshadowed him, because he originated this role with Ethel Waters.
Right.
So I don't think he would have overshadowed him. But Rochester, he showed improve. He shows improve.
And again, things making sense. You understand why a woman like Ethel Waters wants to fight for this man. And you understand how Georgia Brown, a woman who looks like Lena Horne in 1943, can get pulled into his nonsense.
Because he's a fun dude.
He's
a fun guy.
Yeah.
He seems like a fun guy. He seems like overall like a good guy, not like a bad guy.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Super charming.
Yeah, it's got some charm to him. But we've mentioned him a couple of times. John W. Bubbles, who plays Domino Johnson.
Domino Johnson.
In this movie. Who ostensibly is the bad guy, the villain of the movie.
Well, he shoots and kills him.
Okay, he's the bad guy of the movie. I can't even correct semantics. He kills them both, actually.
Hey, his name is Domino Johnson. I never see him playing dominoes. They need to call him 38 Johnson.
Because he knows it's way around 38.
He just keeps shooting people.
However, he also, I don't know if you know this, has a distinction. Him and his dance partner at the time, Buck and Bubbles, were the first black performers ever to appear on television.
I didn't know that.
There you go. In early days of television, actually overseas from England. But he dances in a number in this film called Shine.
Yes, he does.
I'm like, outside of the Ethel Waters in this movie, when he dances and it's him solo, getting his flex on, getting his cakewalk on, ladies and gentlemen. I watched that scene 3 times.
It's a great scene.
It is an absolute fantastic scene. It is the one scene in this movie that is directed by Busby Berkeley.
Okay.
And it shines and it shows with the energy that is infused into the direction of it. This man may be one of the best dancers I've ever seen. He actually, as reading more into his biography, actually taught Fred Astaire a lot of his moves.
Okay.
And he is absolutely amazing.
Yeah.
As much as we cape for the Nicholas Brothers and Mr. Bojangles and God bless them, God bless the dead, James Brown and Michael Jackson.
Oh, skip right over Sammy Davis Jr.
Sammy Davis Jr.
Yeah.
Well, you know, so Sammy Davis Jr.
Yeah.
We cape for all of them. Gregory Hines.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
This man, you watch this scene.
Yeah.
It is outstanding. It's one of the best dance scenes I've ever seen.
And again, after they've established that that's who he is, Ethel Waters says, I'm going to dance with you.
I know. And step.
And when they start dancing, I have to say, I kind of held my breath. I was like, all right, just sort of, because he does this little thing where he does this very exaggerated, he's going to spin her around. And I'm like, okay, just sort of stick to that speed.
Stay in the lane.
And then Ethel Waters said, hold my beer.
That's right.
Because I'm here to dance.
That's right.
And then she dances.
Because she pulls up her little skirt and them legs come out.
Yeah. To underline something with the Rochester, because like I said, I've always been a little about Rochester, and certainly Mantan Moreland and Sleeping and the actor. But there's something about these performers being in this all black space in a film that very consciously was made for black audiences,
right,
where it worked for me.
Oh yeah.
You know, again, back to the scene with the Idea Men. This is something where they have these mannerisms of the moment and this, that, and the other, but it is so warm.
Exactly.
And it's so collegial. Like you get the sense these men have worked together.
And it's because they are still being the personifications that made them famous. They're still being Sleep and Eat. They're still being Mantan Moreland. But they're not performing for the white gaze.
Right.
And you can feel that.
Right.
You can feel that. They're giving you, this is how you recognize me. So this is how I'm going to show up in here, but this is not necessarily how I'm going to perform. I'm actually saying smart lines here.
Right.
I actually have something to say.
Look, the highest praise, this is very much Vince's personal highest praise. The energy in that room reminded me of when Sanford and Son was at its best.
Yeah. Yeah.
Where again, you have these men that if you take them out of this context and put them in front of white audiences, you kind of grimace and say they're kind of putting on. But when they are with each other,
Mm-hmm.
you feel like you're seeing something special that that isn't necessarily being done for you.
Mm-hmm.
Like we just know each other. So yeah, extraordinary film. Absolutely.
So would you recommend Cabin in the Sky?
Required viewing.
There you go.
Yeah, you have to watch Cabin in the Sky.
There you go.
You have to. Again, everything that we've just said, we said it early, but it's worth repeating. This is what everyone has acknowledged is the first performance on film of the moonwalk.
Mm-hmm.
And you see it happen. You're like, oh, shit, he's moonwalking.
Yeah.
So
yeah.
I had that in my notes, too, because I've been doing this for almost 400 episodes. So I'm very seasoned cultural critic.
Yeah, you have to see Cabin in the Sky, ladies and gentlemen. If you have not seen it, if you have seen it, return to it because it rewards on repeat viewing. Cabin in the Sky is, it is a great film. The Library of Congress has designated it as a historically resonant film, and it is right there on the screen. It is absolutely amazing and an essential film. And I'm actually going to see if I can purchase this. This is because I want to return to having more physical media.
Sure.
And this is a film I want to, I definitely want to.
And apparently there's a deleted scene.
Oh, yeah.
Floating around of Lena Horne performing another song in the bathtub.
Ain't the truth. Yeah. She actually does perform the song.
Right, but
it's not that
obviously
scene.
She's not in the bathtub.
No, not in the
right.
Look at you. Go on a hunt.
Now, we've talked about this before. It's like men our age, like, sort of Gen X people, when we think of Lena Horne is a little old. Like the youngest we remember Lena Horne is 50-year-old Lena Horne.
In Sanford and
Son. Like that's the youngest Lena Horne we remember. Mm-hmm. And you hear people talking, she was always, before Halle Berry, she was shorthand for a fine black woman. Lena Horne.
Lena Horne and Dorothy Dandridge.
I would say even Dorothy Dandridge, I think, kind of came into the mainstream lexicon maybe when we were teenagers.
Okay.
Like, fair, but it really was Lena Horne. And it was really
and that's because Dorothy, passed so soon.
Right. And it was because of Sanford and Son.
Right.
Lena Horne.
Right. Dorothy didn't have that opportunity.
Right. But we've talked about it before. Like when you go back and you see these people in their prime.
Oh, yeah, man. Yeah. We've talked about it with Lena Horne.
Like, it's actually ridiculous.
We talked about it with Ruby Dee.
Right. It's like, how are you a human being? Like, how are you a human being at this time?
Pearl Bailey.
Right.
All of them, man.
So, yeah.
Shoot. Look, I'm telling you, man, I sometimes look at old film clips and pictures of Josephine Baker, and I'm like, yo,
it's ridiculous.
If you want to talk ridiculous,
it's ridiculous.
You are not one of us.
Yeah,
I don't know.
So, once again, we're not afraid to make the hard calls. Yeah. Lena Horne was a very attractive woman.
Good-looking woman.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
All
right, ladies and gentlemen, before we tell you what we're going to be reviewing next week for episode 399 of the Micheaux Mission, I am penultimate.
It's like one of those words. You ever see words that you read all the time, but you never actually say them out loud?
Yes.
Penultimate.
Hard
word. I'm sorry.
Yes. Like facade.
Or facade?
Yes.
Okay. All right.
Facade.
All right. I was just, oh Lord, have I been saying that wrong? Okay, go ahead.
That's anyway.
All right.
It's a Kevin Hart story.
All right.
Next week, ladies, before we tell you what we're going to be watching next week, I invite you, if you have any thoughts of your own, you can email the Micheaux Mission at micheauxmission@gmail.com. That's MICHEAUXMISSION at gmail.com. You can also like and subscribe to the Micheaux Mission on the social media of your favorite choice, whether it be Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, at Micheaux Mission. Watching us on YouTube, subscribe to the Micheaux Mission. hit the bell so that you can be notified when our show is going live, when we put up our great shorts that are directed by our good producer, Dylan, and other special events that we have going up there on our YouTube channel. And want to help us, tell a friend about the Micheaux Mission, that they can subscribe to us on YouTube, that they can find the podcast on all of your favorite podcast catchers. Apple Podcasts, we're there. Spotify, we're there. Google, we're there. iHeartRadio, we're there. The Micheaux Mission is everywhere. You cannot escape, but you cannot escape the Micheaux Mission, ladies and gentlemen. Don't you try.
We are inevitable.
We are. All right. The Micheaux Mission is also a proud member of The Podglomerate. ThePodglomerate.com. They make podcasts work, such as ours, which is streamed live every Tuesday at 7 p.m. from YUNKJunk, Philadelphia's premier video podcast palace here in Philadelphia. If you want to book yourself in one of the fabulous studios here and get yourself a Dylan of your own, email Dylan at YUNKJunk.com. That's DYLAN. DYLAN at YUNKJunk.com. All right. Next week, Vincent.
Next week.
Here on the Micheaux Mission for episode 399, we return to the filmography of our namesake, the great Oscar Micheaux.
Yes, sir.
As we dig even deeper into the crates.
Mm-hmm.
Back to 1932.
Okay.
For a recovered gem of his that is sophisticatedly named Veiled Aristocrats.
Ooh,
right.
I did that.
And hold the dough for the Micheaux Mission next week here, streaming live to you. Until then, he's Vincent, I'm Len, and in parting we say,
we'll see you when it's time to meet again.
YUNKJunk!